He's on the top. There's a guy on the top. Underneath him looks like a war-torn building. So everything that can be made that would raise the standard of living for the people just gets sent off to war. This keeps the outer party happy. This keeps the proles happy because all they want is Oceania to win this war that has no chance of ever ending. We can kind of assume that the inner party knows that this is true, but they don't care because they're at the top. It doesn't matter. They're at the top. Whatever. We'll never win the war. But they have wine, they have cars, they have nice carpets, and they have nice food. So that doesn't really matter to them. Anastasia?
So would the outer party be considered like middle class, or would they?
Yeah, the outer parties are middle class only because they're higher than the proles. They aren't actually. They don't have money. They don't really have anything. But they're just of a higher section than the proles are. So the good citizens were okay with this. Like I just said, they thought, okay, all of our materials are being sent away. This is fine. Materials are being sent in order to protect us. So it's okay that I don't have running water, or it's okay that I don't have electricity that works all the time, because Oceania's gonna win the war. And even if things, I don't think personally that any of the materials were actually sent to the war, but if they were, they just get destroyed out there, because it's a never-ending battle. So yeah, they can have machine guns, and they can have bullets and helicopters and all this type of stuff, and it's all gonna get destroyed one way or another. Even if they win 4 battles in a row, the next battle they have, that helicopter's gonna go down. And then there goes all the waste of material.
This goes under why support this.
Yes. This is why good citizens support this.
Is this world like resolved that they have to make it equal to?
So basically the way that kind of worked out, World War II started this, and once the Allies and the Axis powers kind of resolved things, resolved is in quotes there because nothing actually worked out, three major parties were set up, 3 major countries were set up, because in the world of 1984, Russia wins. Not Russia wins. I guess Russia wins the Cold War, perhaps, because then they take over all of Europe, and then the Soviet Union's all of that. And then America has our side, plus South America, and England comes over to us, because they don't want to go with Russia.
But how does like America become Oceania?
Because I think that it's just titled Oceania because it crosses the ocean from England to USA.
No,
Or in North America. It's not even just USA.
Why? Like America, but it might be said one from capitalism to pretty much what's common.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know what America's like. All we know is London. We know that London lives by this standard. And by this standard, we can assume that North America and South America are also part of the party. How it actually worked out and happened, I have no idea. But Big Brother's been in rule for 35-ish years in their thoughts. So, the result. Big Brother stays on top. This is all that matters. Big Brother and the inner party, they're the highest class, they stay on top. The outer party and the proles are kept ignorant. They don't know what's actually happening, and they don't care because Oceania's gonna win the war. That's why on the telescreens they always have the trumpet blare up, and they say, "Oh, great news! We just had a huge decisive victory in Eurasia, and now we took over the tip of Africa again." And everyone's really happy because, oh, it's okay that the lives at home stink because we're winning this bigger battle, this greater battle. So life continues as is for everyone in the society, and war is therefore peace. Because with this perpetual war, the structure of society remains the same forever. Excuse me? No, well, wise up there can be the same thing, because they never like think that they can rise up. To wise up is to think. But I had bathroom, sure. So war is peace. bullet that we're going to start filling out is in the basic social history. And this isn't for just Oceania, this is for all cultures everywhere. 3 classes. You have the high, the middle, and the low.
What was the last bullet point into that one? For
War is peace. So there's 3 social classes. Have been 3 social classes since the beginning of time. There's the people that have the money, the people that have no money, and the people that are kind of in the middle. Oh, sorry that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wally. So the high, their goal is to stay in power for as long as possible. The middle class, all they want to do is switch places with the high, and for the most part, stay away from the low. And the lowest class, unfortunately, they have no chance. They don't have the ability to even think that they have a chance. They're born without money, they live without money, they die without money. Occasionally, someone will come along and they'll think that they should have a society of equality, but it's never gonna happen. Society of equality sounds nice, but these people up here in the big yellow triangle, they're never gonna let that happen. That's why lose their money. So like I said, the middle class, their goal is to change places with the higher class. And the next thing we're gonna look at is the basic pattern of revolution. So how revolution typically takes place. Are we okay to move on? Not yet? You don't need to write every single word up there. Just get down the major ideas. So high, middle, low. They want to stay high. They want to get high. They don't know what's going on. I know, it's really, really funny. As I said, I realized what I said. So, great. All right, so this is the basic pattern of revolution. The highest class, the upper class, somehow loses their edge. They lose power. One of their leaders dies, or they lose faith in each other. They sabotage each other. Somehow the high loses their edge. Greed. Excuse me? Greed. Yeah, greed can do the same thing. Because their leader might want too much power, and then everyone else is like, no, you can't have that much power, and then the upper class will crumble. Then the middle class usually takes advantage of the lower classes' ignorance, I guess is the nicest word to put it. And they usually promise, okay guys, don't worry, if you help us, when we get in power, we'll make you the new middle class. It's not usually what happens. So, there's 2 things that are going to occur here. So now the middle class is trying to take the upper class's spot. Either they'll lose, and they'll stay in the exact same place they were before, or somehow they'll win. And the biggest winners of the middle class, whoever were the leaders of the middle class, they'll become the upper class. The rest of them will probably stay middle, and then that upper class will fall to that second one.
So it's a never-ending cycle of evil.
Exactly.
That's how the book's ended.
And the worst part about this is that the low, who probably helped the middle get there, they just stay down here. They're still low. Maybe a couple of them get brought up to the middle class, but they're stuck down there. They have no chance. No chance of the low class. It's unfortunate. Now you see why I didn't make you read this for homework, because it's 40 pages of just this type of stuff. You ready? Alright. So, now we have INGSOC, or English Socialism. They are the end-all, be-all of societies. We have our middle class. They're the bureaucrats and the scientists and the teachers. They're people that they're not going to rock the boat too much. You know what I mean by that? They're not going to cause up any type of stir. They are more intelligent than some other people, but they're not gonna ever make a real difference. This is our middle class of Beanstalk. Now remember, Winston talks about how prostitution's not illegal. Why is it not illegal? There's no laws. If there's no laws, there's no lawyers, there's no people that are going to study the government or the Constitution or anything like that. These are all just people that are going to work for the government or in the government. Like I said, don't mean every single word that's up here. I know that we like to copy it all down, but it's unnecessary. So, this is what made this English socialism possible. First of all, telescreens. They monitored everything all the time, 24/7. There was no way. What made this possible? This was this part of this. So what made the middle class? That's okay. So what made this possible? Telescreens could monitor anyone that was important. So that's the middle class. That's people like Winston. That is teachers. It's not the proles, because the proles aren't important citizens. The proles are never going to get monitored because it doesn't matter. But telescreens can monitor the important people. The people that could one day make this revolt happen.
Okay,
Telescreens are the big one.
So O'Brien is like, he's upper class, right? He's higher than the middle class?
Yes, O'Brien's a member of the inner party, so he's technically upper class in our society. Anastasia?
Could you ever just like leave the party?
So, when people in Oceania turn 16, they take a test, and if they score high enough, they join the inner party. If they don't score that high, they're in the outer party. I have no idea what happens if you fail that test, because I don't think that you become a prole if you don't pass. They might just kill you, but
For not passing?
For not being smart?
probably, yes. But if you're educated, you'll probably at least wind up in the outer party, because they need to keep it constantly flowing with their people.
Wait, if they like have like been trained spies, you can't send them to be in everybody as a spy?
It's possible. So, the government controls everything. Not just media, but also history. They control all of it. There's no way for these bureaucrats, for these teachers, for these politicians to make any impact because they don't know any better. This all goes back to the same idea that the middle class doesn't even know the difference between if there's actually a war going on or not. They're just okay with all their stuff being used because that way they're safe. It's the same thing here. They don't know that things aren't as they seem. And the last one is their killer police force, their thought police. Anyone that has any chance, any inkling of rising above or revolting, they just get killed.
So basically what this book is trying to say is that people don't want freedom, they want safety.
What, Goldstein's book?
Yeah.
It's not that Goldstein's book isn't making a declaration for or against the party. He's just kind of explaining how they operate and how they've operated for so long. And the Brotherhood. A little bit of the Brotherhood. So, all of society's wealth, the middle class is brainwashed. They think that everything's collectively owned. This is a communist country in their heads, or socialist, I guess, where everything is owned by everyone. Everyone has the exact same rights. Everyone has the exact same